A very good evening to you and welcome to the Lakchai Stadium right here in the heart of Haiphong. This, of course, is the finest women's tournament in the ASEAN region, and we have got down to the penultimate stage. The ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 moves into its first semi-final of the event, and it's going to be a big one here as Myanmar match wits with Thailand. Strong rivals have been together for the longest period of time, and we will get you through the action. We will also get you through the second game, which will have a pretty much packed stadium. So first up, let me introduce you to, well, the two commentators. My name is Glenn Mascarenas, and with me I've got my good friend Natasha. Natasha, welcome back to Haiphong, and it's good to have you right in the seat near me.
Definitely, it's going to be an exciting moment to cover the women's football matchup between Myanmar and Thailand. As you all know, Myanmar top Group B. And while for Thailand, after losing to Vietnam in that final group stage game, they were number 2, and now it has set us up for this perfect matchup here at the Lakchai Stadium.
Well, that's an interesting one, and I think that it's really going to be big because we do want to see what exactly unfolds right here in front of us today. We'll get you through all the bits and bobs later on in the game, but first up, let's get you straight down to business with doing our alma mater for the evening. And right here, as we get into the first game, amidst a very damp and rainy but pleasant evening, it will be first the teams taking to the field along with the respective national anthems. So do stay with us before we can get you through the team lineups, and it will be interesting. So first up, we pay our respects to the nations on field, and then of course we get straight into the thick of the action right here at Lakchai.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem. Đề nguyện quý vị đại biểu, quý vị khách quý cùng toàn thể khán giả đứng dậy làm lễ chào cờ. The national anthem of Myanmar, quốc ca Myanmar. The national anthem of Thailand, quốc ca Thái Lan.
Always a joy here to hear the respective anthems of the teams. Let's get you down to business now as we take you through the lineups. Once again, a reminder that it's going to be Myanmar facing Thailand for a spot in the finale of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. And I do have to say, we've got this, well, the first starting lineup for Myanmar. It's going to be Myo Minen, who will take up her place beneath the bar. Lindo and Mimint will be on the left and right wing-back positions. Zunu and Piu Pei will man defense, along with Kinthun and Nawai, who'll be up in midfield. Piu Win and Santor will take up, well, the front wing positions, along with Melu and Winthun, the leading goal scorer, leading the attack. And while we have the team lineups, I'm also going to get you well acquainted with a few of the officials. Our match commissioner for today is going to be Umar Yusri of Singapore, along with the referee assessor, that's Dang Tan Ha of Vietnam. Our main referee is Kim Yu Jong of Korea. Our first assistant Abdul Hanan of Singapore, and Mohammed Farhan of Malaysia. So second assistant Yu Hong of China is our fourth official. We have the two captains up there, and that's Chachawan along with Winthun. And our video assistant referee is Jin Jing Yong of China. Our assistant video assistant referee is Lee Shilgi of Korea. And now for the Thailand lineup.
They'll be shaping up in a 4-1-4-1 formation. One change for the side of Thailand. Wirunya gets the start over Janissa. On goal, it's going to be Pawarisa. In the back line, it's Chachawan, Pinyapat, Supaporn, and Anacha. In the midfield, it's going to be Pichayatida, Ploemchai, Rinyapat. On the left, Wirunya. On the right, Karanjanatat. And up on top will be Madison.
So very interesting in Natasha. We were just talking about that. On the bench today, of course, is Janista Jinanthuya, a very essential player, and just trying to figure out whether that's a ploy to probably bring her on in the second half, then rather go in with her, in the starting lineup, because she's such a crucial player to have in the side to start off.
Definitely. So let's see how that will all shape up. But for the side of Myanmar, an interesting start as well. Meitet Lu gets on the starting lineup. She hasn't been on the starting lineup since the start of this competition. So let's see what this young player can do alongside, of course, Winteng Yitun, who has been fantastic for the side of Myanmar.
Well, absolutely wonderful play, and I think much of the strike will, depend on the captain Winthun here today. But having said that, big test here also for the keeper, Myo Nien, and I think it's going to be interesting to see how she comes to the party right up front. We will, of course, get into the thick of things and find out how this all pans out. Keep in mind the fact that Thailand are in blue and Myanmar, of course, are in red. It is Melu who'll do the honors to start off, and that's Kim Yu Jong of Korea, our main referee. And it's wonderful right here in the penultimate stage to see a women's referee out there. So made for the occasion, if you ask me, Natasha.
It also says a lot about the growth of women's football throughout the years.
And here we go into the first semi-final. Keep in mind the fact that later on in the day, of course, we've got Vietnam who will take on Australia under 23, and that's going to be a cracker of a game as well. But this one is one for the ages. Well, Myanmar and Thailand are meeting together for the 13th time in the contest. And in those previous 12 occasions, it's been Thailand that have won 8. Myanmar have won 4. Keep in mind the fact that Thailand have also won the last 4 games going back to 2015. So will it be 5 straight wins for them in the tournament, or will Myanmar be able to upset the apple cart? Well, let's find out. Still early days, and there's a lot to take from this game. So, well, Natasha, you've been actually covering Myanmar quite in-depth, and, Tetsuro Uki and his band of merry women, I'll say, well, they've been quite impressive over at Vietchi, haven't they?
Absolutely, especially going against Australia, getting the win against them, getting a draw against the defending champions as well, and sending them home packing. It says a lot of how well and how good the fluidity has been for the side of Myanmar. Getting those great results. They've been so organized defensively and so quick on counterattacks.
So right down here, well, Natcha just getting the ball away to begin with. It looks like it's going to be, well, a battle here for the Thailand defense as well. Pinyapat, well, sends that right ahead, just looking for a bit of a helping hand from Verunia. Verunia, of course, did impress in the last couple of games that she's had a chance to come onto field. Rinyapat sends that in. Myanmar would have had it covered, and Kanchanathat were unable to, well, get to it in time. I do believe the Myanmar defense will also be on, well, cliched to say in the outfits, red alert. But, well, interesting times to start off with. Thailand very quick on the attack, and that's going to be the first shot on goal. It's not going to find the target, but I do believe, well, Pichayathida was right there next to Kanchanathat, and they've been looking for a way forward. Thailand always leading with the attack, Natasha, and that's really just to look back. And I was looking back at Coach Futoshi Ikeda during his playing days, and he was a player that actually watched and attacked. But it's different when a coach brings a different style of play, because Thailand attacks straight off the blocks.
And when you think about also both Myanmar and Thailand, they both have that Japanese influence to their playing styles, especially with both of their head coaches coming in from Japan. Both have played in the J-League at the highest level as well. But Thailand with a younger squad, while Myanmar with that more seasoned team that have been together through quite some time already.
Well, you're so right about that, and much really revolves around, Wintun. She's played in different countries, including she's played in India, and she's played, currently playing for Sabah FA in Malaysia. I think probably the most prolific striker that Myanmar have had in women's football. So Thailand once again rushing ahead. It is, well, Pichayathida can create a few worries there. Gets a bit deceptive between her and Verunia, because from a distance, well, both the girls do resemble each other a tad bit. Here's Chachawan standing right in the path there, but well played. I do believe Mai Lu just making sure that she got that, well, throw an opportunity for Myanmar. And up here to take it, of course, it's going to be, well, Zun U. That's not Zun U, that's actually Lindo. That's a quick bit of passing there. Forgot to mention Plumjai, what an essential role that she holds in there. And that's a long ball from Myanmar! And that is exactly what Wintun can do. Well, right against the run of play, straight out of the blue. Well, Pavarisa just getting a slight worry there, did tip off the crossbar, but just a moment from the Myanmar captain, Natasha, to say, hey, I'm still around.
Exactly. It was her first chance on target. She's been quiet the first 4 minutes, but the moment, any moment that she gets on the ball, you know that she's dangerous and she can create chances like that. Definitely why she's, as we said, the captain. She leads not only off the pitch, on the pitch as well. 77 goals to her name so far. And it looks like she's just getting started.
Absolutely, she really is an exceptional talent, and I mean, keeping in mind the fact that the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025, you do get to watch the cream of the crop in ASEAN football, but for my money, she stands in there as one of the finest that I've seen, not just in this tournament, but in the few years that have gone by. She really is an exceptional talent. Talking of which, Thailand would be listening to us. Verunia decides to get one of her own through. Will be covered safely. No worries here for the Myanmar custodian, but I think Thailand just saying it's going to be, effort for effort. And, well, I was going to hope and say goal for goal. Well, once again, put there into space, Verunia. Well, and that's an own goal! Absolute disaster here. An attempt to clear it. And Thailand have got the lead. That's a bit unfortunate. And Myonin unable to stop that. Well, it was Piupe and Natasha. What are the chances? If you played as a defender, I played as a defender. Can't shake off that tag for a lifetime. which is awful.
You also have to give it to the press that Thailand have been putting. You have to give credit as well for the runs that they made inside the substitute in the previous games, getting the start today. Wirunya gets that pressure, makes Myanmar create those mistakes. You have to give that as well, we said, to Thailand. Since the game has started, they've been putting on that high press. They haven't been allowing the Myanmar defense to really control the ball, and they pounce on every error, and doing just so put them the advantage early in this game.
So Virunya putting Thailand ahead 1-0 on 7 minutes. And I do believe, of course, while she does get credit for that, it'll look like it was more an own goal. We'll have a replay of that to run that by you. But it certainly looked like, well, it was Piu Pei who did get a, well, foot to the ball. Having said that, it's a lead all the same, and in a semi-final, you're going to take any and every goal that really comes to you. Yes, Plumjai. Myanmar finally get a hold of things, and I do believe there will be that, well, intention to score as soon as possible. The long pass, Winthun chasing it down, but right behind it, well, you got Super Prawn. Gets it away to Chachawan. Chachawan back with it. Also been a wonderful player to watch right through this tournament. Absolutely fluid, Chachawan Rothong. And that's once again put into space. Thailand beginning to look dangerous all over again. Well, 3 ladies in blue in there. And, well, Myanmar might just be able to fend off this threat. And just as you said, Natasha, well, Thailand really, kind of trying to keep that pressure on the Myanmar defense, pushing them into a bit of a defensive play very, very early in the game. And that could just stall things for the ladies in red.
And Thailand really just in a game this big with everything on the line, a finals appearance on the line, small errors will be punished. In a game of fine margins, those small moments, those lapses in concentration can lead to an early goal.
Well, so that's exactly what we're looking at, and it's also going to be, well, Thailand once again, well, in the goal area. That's going to be a bit of a wild effort. I don't think it's going to matter too much to Kanjanathat, but the problem is, well, they would have loved to have just got that a little more accurate, and Coach Ikeda, well, has a message. Was just trying to decipher that, takes me back to, well, some of the coaches when they do have instructions for the players, and you have the opposition listening in, and even if they can't understand, they try and read sign language. Oh, you've been there, Natasha.
But Thailand, of course, at the moment, they're really hanging on to that momentum. So when they did that goal, it brings them more confidence in this matchup. It makes it that much harder for Myanmar to find their footing, to create their chances.
Here's Winthun. Who was trying to slip that through, had 2 players, well, right there in the goal area, but Thailand able to clear off the threat rather quickly. Kanjanathat back with it. Get it back to Nacha. We were just trying to figure out, Virunya getting that credit for that goal, and it was really, well, Piu Pei who was trying to clear it, and I do believe a slight deflection there. So Virunya rightfully credited for it. Of course, we'll give you a view of that again when we do play that goal for you. So, well, all said and done, it's still 1-0. Chance here for Thailand as they get back into the goal area. That'll be taken safely by Myo Nien. Straight off there to Santao. A clash of 2 players, and that's going to be, well, I think the first bit of stoppage right here in the game. And the referee just checking in that all is well.
But a great way to start the account of the semi-finals. It's been back-to-back action. 10 minutes so far played. We've already seen a goal. We've seen Win Tengitun come close as well, hitting the crossbar.
It just looked like it was a tad bit of a worry there for Norway, but she's back up and about. So 11, just 12 minutes in actually, to be precise, and it still is Thailand who are holding that single goal lead. Always a great way to get started. Start off on the front foot. First 10 minutes definitely makes a big difference here. Just looking back, as I did mention this earlier, well, you know, Thailand have reigned supreme in their last 4 encounters since 2015 in the ASEAN Women's Championship. And Myanmar in early days of the tournament were pretty much a powerhouse. They've always, well, made it right through into, well, the penultimate stage and sometimes even to the finals. Myanmar themselves, you know, have been champions twice in this event. So will be interesting. Throw an opportunity here. Will be taken by Santho.
And that's right. 2 of the first 3 editions of this tournament, Myanmar were the champions. And as well as in the 13 times that they've appeared in this tournament, they have made it to the semi-finals every single time.
Well, that definitely tells us a bit of a story, and that's going to be interesting. Yes, Winthun closes it on it after she gets it from Santho! And that's a quick reply. It's 1-1. And 6 goals for the occasion for Winthau. Myanmar at full level. It's 1-1 back again, and I'm going to lead you, Natasha, to run through that. Beautifully constructed, slight defensive slip up from Thailand, and Winthun's pounced on it.
That was world class from Win Tengitun. You could see the quality that she brings for that side, that slip up from the defender. She sets herself up. She knew exactly what she was doing, where she wanted that ball to go, and delivered it perfectly to put Myanmar 1-1 against Thailand.
Well, I think just a failure there from Natcha to reach that ball and clear it. And, you know, the Myanmar captain, right place at the right time. That's a phenomenal goal. So it's 1-1, and we've got a game on here. One of the greatest things ever, you know, when you're sitting here and actually covering a game is when it just goes down to the wire. And I would have hated it to be a one-sided affair. So 7 goals in the tournament as she leads. I think the closest to her would be Madison Castine, who's probably got, is that 6 goals, sorry, in the tournament. And Madison Castine has 4 goals. So it will be interesting to see whether she can, well, up a game and, you know, when she gets in to the scoring area. Here's Winthun back again. Myanmar beginning to look a lot more aggressive here. It's off to Santho. And unable, well, to claim that, but Myanmar have possession back again. Well, moving that ahead.
And Win Tengitun as well. You know, this record of every game that she's played so far in this tournament, she has scored in every single matchup. That just goes to show the quality that she brings for the side of Myanmar.
Absolutely. You said it bang on, Natasha. It's a fantastic strike rate when you think about it. You know, if you go with the number of goals against the number of times that she's represented a country, and it's just phenomenal. I think the other player, of course, that comes to mind is also the Vietnam captain, who we're going to see later on. And it's so wonderful on the same day you're going to see 2 of the most prolific scorers in the ASEAN Women's Championship. So Myanmar still, you know, very much with it. They're staying in that Thailand half. Yes, Winthun gets to it. Chachawan right behind her. There's definitely no foul going to be called. And bit of a blind effort, but just wants to get that through. Santho. We still have, well, Winthun is down, and I think Tetsuro Uki, the coach of, well, Myanmar, just wondering what's going on there. Just as you mentioned, you know, Natasha, these 2 coaches, they don't just bring the Japanese style, but they also bring a bit of Japanese culture in. And you can actually see that influence right down to, I'm not even going to pinpoint it personally, but here we go, 47% possession, for Myanmar. That's a little bit lower than what, well, Thailand have had, but at the end of the day, possession is never an account of a win or a defeat. So
Also the attempts as well. Myanmar have only had 2 attempts, but from the 2 they've converted 1. As well as for Thailand, they've had 6 attempts so far as well. But good to see in the semi-finals of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup. 17 minutes played, already 1-1 between Myanmar and Thailand.
So here's Veronia back again. Plumchai. And that struggle for the ball. It's, well, black to Plumchai. Renia Path and Pachayatira just doing extremely well to earn that. Straight into the goal area. Could be a bit of a worry. Tries to turn that around. But Madison will have to wait for another opportunity. Another wonder kid, actually, Natasha. 17 years old, number 17. I do love the fact that she's got matching numbers. And absolutely phenomenal as a poacher. She does really well.
And one of the things also Coach Futoshi Ikeda said about his squad, about his Thailand squad, is that because they are young, they're very hungry as well. And you could see it by the way that they play and how quick they're able to recover. As we said, they lost their last matchup against Vietnam, but quickly in this game scored an early goal against Myanmar.
And this young lady had a part to play, the number 20 we just got a view of. And here's Chachawan. Well, a real quality player, brings a certain football finesse to her team. Lovely back pass there from Pichayatira. And one of the few things, of course, that you are going to see with Thai football, and, you know, ever since, well, I had a taste of it, and that's probably in the long gone years back. Well, Thai footballers do love to bring out every trick that they can in the book. They don't rely on orthodox play, and I think that that's part of the joy or the thrill of watching them. Here's, well, Pinyapat back to a captain.
And that's right, Glenn. You know, a lot of the players for Thailand, very technically sound players.
Well, did get a view of them training, and it's quite intense. And I think it's a bit of a culture that's run down. Well, here goes once again. But Myeonien will stand right in the path there of Pichayatira. Oh, what a goal opportunity. So Thailand still keeping that pressure on. Myanmar trying to defend tooth and nail. Madison was waiting for an opportunity, but Thailand still back with it. Yeah, Super Prawn on the outside, back again. Here goes Pichayatira. A bit of a blind effort, but I do believe Plumchai would want to take that all the same. And they're actually going in parts, if you ask me, Natasha. So Myanmar will keep that attack going for a couple of minutes. Thailand have got back into the Myanmar half now.
It's been a quick shift of momentum from Thailand to Myanmar, now back to Thailand. But that was a great splitting pass from Madison to find the run, well-timed run from Pichayatira, but even better goalkeeping from Nguyen. She had to come out big. That was a 1v1. And she made sure that this game is still 1-1 between both squads.
So 20 minutes in, let's just refresh that score for you. It's 1-1 here at the Lakchai Stadium. Myanmar, of course, quick to come back into it thanks to an equalizer from Captain Winthun. But having said that, there's still a lot of time left in this game, and with 25 minutes still to go in the first period, I do believe anything could happen that could change the outcome. But for now, it's still even Stevens as we continue with the match. Let's also remind you that in just a little bit, or in a few hours from now to be precise, we do have Vietnam and Australia who will lock horns, and that's going to happen right here at the Lakchai Stadium. The crowd's already started to fill in slowly, and by the time we get to that game, home support will be overflowing right here in the stadium. Right now, yes, Pinyapat needs to get it back to a captain. Chachawan will find a way through, but the opposition will get to it first. Still keeping that ball within the field of play. Always a chance here to try and create opportunities, and that's what they've been doing. Plumjai will bring in Nacha, and that's straight down to Madison, who's versatile enough to actually cover a good bit of ground. Be a throw-in opportunity for Team Thailand. And once again, let's remind you, while these two teams share a very strong rivalry, every tournament brings a new result. Still trying to work that way through, but a corner opportunity will be well earned. Kanjanathat, very impressive in that first game. I did see in the second encounter, of course, she was just a bit subdued, but getting back to her usual self. So another opportunity in disguise here, Natasha, for Thailand. And I do believe.
But Kanjanathat really did well as well to win this corner opportunity for the side. She's been fantastic on that right flank, winning those 1v1 battles.
And here's the spot kick specialist and the troublemaker for the opposition. Decent delivery in. Winthun with the clearance. Don't think, Thailand's still very much with it. And that's definitely going to be another opportunity in disguise. You don't want to do that right up front. Sarinya brought down right outside the box by Norway. I would have said just a tad bit unnecessary, but every chance will count. And I do believe Thailand are just going to relish this opportunity. Having said that, I think the Myanmar defense can stand its own ground. So is it going to be Pichayathida or Rinyapat? Looks like it's Rinyapat having a conversation there with her captain who stepped in, Chachawan.
And dangerous chance here because Thailand very much capable of scoring from set piece opportunities. We've seen them do it time and time again during the group stage matches.
Absolutely, and that's what that's one of the things that Team Thailand have done. They're very good organizational skill and attack right up front. So, moment here to reclaim the lead that they had early in the game. And it'll be one of the two. And it is Chachawan who takes the kick straight to the waiting arms of the Myanmar keeper. So no worries here for Myo Nien. When you're ambushed by two ladies in blue, can be a bit of a worry. Madison will try to get it away, and Pinyapat too. But Myanmar just holding their own for the time being. Plumjai restoring it there to Rinyapat, and that's pulled away by Pyu Win. Yeah, Super Prawn. Just a little bit of action there between the two sides, but Chachawan gets it back to Warunia. It's been marvelous to watch her in action too every time she's got onto the pitch. But, Plumjai letting that pass through, and it's Winthun. He'll just claim it. Straight off here to Santhao. On the outside, you've got Lindo. Norway. Santhao gets the nudge, but she'll still take that through. And if you can't move further down, just keep the ball in possession. That would be the best opportunity. So throw in here for Myanmar. And Myanmar, of course, surging with intent. Definitely the plan now would be to try and keep Thailand away from their half. And what better way to do that than to break out of that defensive shell?
And when you think of the opposition as well, for the side of
that's going to be straight through, but well covered there. Pavarisa, has got it covered, so no worries at all. And what an opportunity. She's been quite impressive in the past, couple of games. I do believe Kin Thun did bring on the attack a couple of times as well in the previous game when she played against the Philippines. And very, very strong player. But beautiful setup there. Winthun once again. So much depends, on the captain when it comes to constructing those goals, setting up some of them, and even providing those assists. And Natasha, while you were having a look at the statistics, another one through. Chachawan, well, just saying hello to the opposition's custodian.
And yes, we looked at the stats that was put on earlier. 86 passes so far for Myanmar, 113 for Thailand. 62% pass accuracy for the side of Myanmar and a higher percent accuracy for Thailand with 75%. And one thing that also Thailand have been able to exploit, we've seen time and time again, is that their high press on the defensive line of Myanmar, helping them to create chances and really just causing troubles at the back for Myanmar.
Well, one of the key things that we have seen, of course, in both attacking teams is that ability to get aggressive at the right moment and to, well, seize the initiative at the right time. Having said that, well, there's still a lot left in this game. We've just gone past the first quarter, heading towards 30 minutes actually, and it's still, well, 1-1 here. Those early goals was just giving us a sign of things to come. But let's remind you also, it's pretty much a do or die here, and if you don't get into, the finale, if you don't win this game, you still have a chance, of course, to, well, finish off as second runners-up. But having said that, there will be, well, a decider played out today as well. So we do have extra time, and then if that doesn't work out, there will be the penalty shootout. That, of course, is if the score is tied or if it's a stalemate. Having said that, that's just something that I personally hate, because I think that just puts pressure on the goalkeeper and also makes the goalkeeper guilty for years to come. So I'm always one to have a game settled in regulation time. I think it's just fair. So Chachawan will take the throw-in. Well, Madison just trying to play it off her. That's pulled away smartly. I was just, talking about how, well, Keen Thun does that. Win Thun off her feet. Here's Natcha.
And you could sense that sense of frustration from Winteng Itun. Because when you do have those quick counterattacks, your passes have to be spot on to their runs. And the ball was just given right behind her run.
Well, absolutely, and she's just one of those players who's, so clued and so passionate about, what she does on the pitch. And I've seen that, and initially I would have thought that it's just a temperament problem, but actually it isn't. It's really, just her focus and the ability to, help a team win. So all said and done, we've still got a cracker of a game here as, both sides of the half line do try their level best to, gain that lead. Myanmar missing out on a few occasions. Thailand, of course, missed out on a few occasions as well. Although having said that, the previous two efforts from Thailand weren't really the most forceful. They were rather easy enough and wasn't a worry for the custodian to get to it. Here's Lindo. Plays it straight off of Veronia, so Myanmar will hold possession.
We talk about the strengths of both squads as well. For Myanmar, we said that for the side of Coach Tatsuro Uki, it's really for Winteng Itun, who not only has scored in every match, but even when those goals were penalty kicks, she won those fouls inside the box. So she's still the one creating really those opportunities for them. While for the side of Thailand, they have, as we talked about, Madison, who has scored 3 goals so far in this tournament. And the likes of Janista, who is on the bench. So interesting tactics for the side of Coach Futoshi Ikeda.
And that's well said. It's really a battle of two minds, isn't it? Both Japanese coaches, as we pointed out earlier. And they both, of course, bring an entirely different kind of mentoring to their teams. Janista, of course, I do believe will probably be on in that second period of play. Having said that, a bit too much of dependence, although we've got strong midfield players, but I think just a tad bit too much of dependence on, the captain of Myanmar, because I remember the previous game, it was a good amount of fatigue that set in for her, and she had to voluntarily ask to be called off the pitch. So I do believe that Myanmar would need to dig a bit deeper, especially if they get to the finale.
Exactly. They've also had the harder group stage matches. As we said, they went against Australia, they went against the Philippines. They've also had one less day to recover as compared to Thailand.
Straight up in the air here from Pichayatida, was looking to get it into the box. And that's going to be another one that'll sail way above the target. Well, Madison does get a foot to it. Don't think she's been too happy about not getting those opportunities. She's definitely looking for them. Absolutely wonderful player to watch in action. Very, very fluid with her attack. Really smooth with every single bit of action that she's brought to the pitch. And I do see her being, one of the future stars. That's one of the things that we've been saying. Thailand have a young team. And just as, Natasha rightfully pointed it out, young teams normally make a huge impact. And there's a dual reason for it. One is, of course, the exuberance of youth. But the second is they've got eyes trained on them. And a lot of them will later on become future stars for their nation. So you've got scouts around. You've got players from the senior teams, coaching staff from the senior teams, or scouts that'll always have their eyes on you. And just had word that that's the same case with the Australia under-23. So it'll be interesting to see how these players will really put on probably their best performance here. Pichayatida once again beautifully done into that space, but while she sets it up, picked up safely by keeper Mio Nien. So for now, things look to be in balance. Natasha, I do believe that Thailand just still keeping that attack alive, but they've taken their foot off the accelerator just a little bit.
When you think about the Thailand attacks, they've been stringing passes together to create those chances up on top, or either pressing really well through that back line to create chances for them. For Myanmar, it's those quick counterattacks where they've really been trying to exploit catching Thailand off guard or on their back feet. And when you talked about the youth players for Thailand, interesting enough is that their spine, the spine players in this matchup, all of them under 20 years old. With the likes of Pinyapat in the back, only 17. Their center midfielders of Pichayatida and Rinyapat, both 18 years old. And as you said, Madison was only 17. So great future on the horizon for these young rising stars. And this is the perfect platform for them to be able to show what they're capable of on that highest level.
And what a joy, right, to be seeing players who've been spending time together. And I was recently, had the opportunity to cover the ASEAN Under-23 Men's Championship, and was kind of watching a lot of the teams and realized that a lot of the lads in the Philippines as well have been playing together since the Under-16s, Under-17s, and it really shows with the kind of sync that they have on pitch. So many of these, young stars here, if they get into the senior team, you can imagine what it's going to be, because that understanding's already there, and then it's just about gelling together all over again.
And having this ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup just allows players to shine at the highest level, to be able to highlight what they're capable of, and even eventually get picked up by teams abroad as well.
Well, you're so right about that. You get play for other nations, and you actually do get noticed here. And the more you play abroad, the better you can get. Winthun well kept away here. And a quick pass back there from Pinyapat. Well, Super Prawn just clashing there, but there's mutual respect between these players. And we've seen that right through this tournament. We've seen that even from, the host nation. They've been very gracious hosts. But not when it comes to, of course, the attack. So Thailand still very much in it. Quick clearance there as she gets the ball away, and Pewin coming to the aid of her team. She's actually played a little more defensive today than she did in the last game. She was up there in an attack. Talking of which, Madison does a 360 here. Well, she would want every single opportunity that she can get.
And that's what Madison's been so good at doing as well, just by the edge of the box. She's been pouncing on those miscontrols from the back line and just putting herself in a position so that when they do make a bad pass, or to just poach it back from them and to translate it quickly into a chance.
So we're just about 9 minutes shy of the 45 here. It's been a very, very interesting game so far. Started off in a, well, all guns blazing, if you ask me, for the first 14 or 15 minutes. It's gone into a bit of a settled affair because I think both teams now would be cautious, knowing that, you know, the back line is vulnerable. And when you're at this stage of the contest, you really don't want to experiment. So looking at those, well, attempts on goal and possession, once again, Thailand still, well, have a lion's share of it. And you want to run us by that, Natasha.
For Thailand, 57% possession, 11 attempts and a corner so far. Myanmar, 43% possession and 4 attempts. Still 1 goal apiece despite the number of attempts both teams have had.
Well, I do believe, just as you said, you know, Myanmar scoring against the run of play at that point of time, and it just came in on. And actually, there was a warning sign. You know, same position, although earlier it was from a distance, but straight out from the left, you know, Winthun, while giving Thailand just a sign of things to come. And I do believe that they were caught unawares. So back to the action on pitch, and Thailand still trying their level best, but here's, well, Kinthun. And, well, she's got that ball away. It's the captain once again, straight off Super Prawn. Well, sometimes you want to think about it as a striker, and, you know, when you're a prolific striker, you want to take every shot that you can get because that's instinct. But sometimes it also kind of, well, just about does away with the ability to assist, because as a striker, your mind is so, well, programmed. Get and kick. And it's something that just comes to you naturally, isn't it? And strikers don't even bother about the offside. The moment you get the ball, you want to rush ahead.
But you can tell also that spirit that Wintang brings to her team. The moment she gets a touch on the ball, it's like everyone's heart races. You know that she can turn it into a chance. You know that she's going to try to beat her opponent 1v1. She's going to try to find a way to get a chance on target.
So I do believe if we wanted a better balanced affair and a well-matched one, we certainly have on here, at least for this first period, unless things change drastically in the second. But for my money, well, this is a very, very worthy semi-final. It's the first one in the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 being played here at the Lak Chai Stadium. Once again, a reminder that we are coming at you live from the heart of Haiphong, Vietnam. You know, my name is Glenn Mascarenas, and along with me, I've got my good friend Natasha in the seat beside me. Natasha, of course, herself has been a part of a national squad for the Philippines, and has, while that ball trickles forward, well, Natasha too has had her time playing for clubs right until recently. So still very much a part of the game and a football mind. So always good to have one, well, next to me. Talking of which, that effort was a bit of a trickle. I don't think Myanmar just had too much of space to work with in that last shot on goal.
But that was the first time we've also seen Myanmar string more passes together in the attacking third to calm and slow down their attacks rather than the rushed attacks that they've had.
But I do believe they do excel with the long passes and that sudden attack. It's been, yeah, mix it up. Nothing like it. Well, Lindo will get that ball away. And restored there by, well, Pachayathida, straight off to Pinyapat. Here's Super Prawn, Plumjoy, Chachawan, back to Pinyapat. And Pachayathida does get a foot to it. Will Rinyapat have it covered? Well, she's closed in on it. And a corner opportunity. Well, Piu Win just getting to it in time. And I think Thailand will welcome that with open arms. So just about 4 minutes shy before we can get to the break. We will have a bit of added time thrown in for stoppages, but to be honest, it's been fair play here today, and that's really exciting. So I don't think there's going to be too many stoppages that we can view. Fans in the crowd, no second guesses that those are the Thai fans with those headbands. And while Thailand will surge ahead, it will be interesting.
Thailand, of course, as we said, they've enjoyed much of the possession, stringing more chances together and creating a set-piece opportunity.
Lovely delivery there from Rinyapat, but the Myanmar custodian had it covered, so no worries at all. Myanmar claiming possession, and I do believe there's definitely that intent. Oh, it's a bit unfortunate, but Myanmar will still hold possession for the time being as Virunia chases it down. And well, Lindo just being able to get that ball away in time. I do think that, well, the closer Thailand can get every time to that Myanmar goal, it will make a difference. And, well, Chachawan, I was just looking back at that first day, Natasha, when we had a chance to, well, talk to the coach. And we were asking which is the most crucial player in the team. Well, that's living life dangerously, but well taken there by Myon Nien. But I do believe this is going to be a bit worrying, because if she loses focus even a tad bit, those own goals might just become a reality. And I do believe Myanmar just walking the line of risk with the clearance.
And again, Thailand continuously exploiting a level of attack by pressing really high.
And that's exactly how things panned out here. Kanchana Thatwell were brought down. It was an attempt there from Piupe to try and, well, clear it. Did make contact. Free kick opportunity. And Thailand, of course, will relish this. Just getting a view of Madison and Virunia. They do two players who can be lethal in attack. Very unassuming. And sometimes those players can be, well, the most dangerous. So, oh, that's got to be absolutely well done. 10 on 10 there for the effort and 10 on 10 for the save. And Piche Thida, well, this is what she does best. But the Myanmar custodian, well, will be stingy here. Well, needed to get that away in time. And I think...
And that was a great chance. It curled perfectly. But the punch out from Nyen, just as great. She had to come out big a couple of times already, but she's been spot on every time.
So Rinyapat will take the corner. Once again, single arm there to, well, punch that away. I think Myo Nien just doing, well, her bit. She was really, really active in that game against the Philippines. Was just talking about strikers, Natasha, who tend to be very unassuming, and especially with the way they move around the pitch before they get into a run or they get the ball. And, Virunia, well, Madison, or for that matter, Nina Mathalis from the Philippines. Very unassuming, very laid-back style till they get the ball. Well, that's what makes some of these players deceptive in a way. Kanchana That.
She's just causing all kinds of problems for the back line of Myanmar. And yes, a closer look again at Nyen in this matchup. Every corner piece delivery, she's timed how she comes out so well, making sure to get a punch out of it. And also in that 1v1 opportunity, she made sure to stay confident, to be big, and puts her side 1-1 still despite the numerous attempts of Thailand as compared to Myanmar.
Well, absolutely. And while we head into the break, let's remind you we've got 2 minutes of added time. 2 minutes and a lease of life for either of these teams to create something, maybe take the lead. Rinyapat gets that into the goal area, but, well, it will be covered easily by the last line of defense for Myanmar. And I don't think, well, Myanmar is going to be too generous with awarding or allowing a goal at this point of time. Having said that, it has been a very interesting half, and I do think that there will be a massive change in strategy when we get into that second period of play, Natasha, because the coaches will have realized that if it goes pretty much the same way it is right now, it might just be locked and go into extra time.
And the longer this game goes, you really have to dig deeper in your bench as well. Who can come on as well after 60 minutes, 70 minutes, after that full time, to see who can be those game changers that can help change and shift the tides in your favor.
What's the longest that you've been on pitch in your playing days?
Most probably until extra time as well. Full 90 plus extra time, added time, and all the way to penalties.
And here's the good bit, they don't even pay you overtime.
And that's mentally as well. You're already tired.
Well, absolutely. It's definitely a strain, mentally as well as, physically, and depending on what role and position you play. But having said that, our ladies here have been taking this game to a new level. It's been a brilliant contest. Here's Plumjoy. Well, aiming to still create an opportunity. Winthun will get to it, and I think it's just going to be, the last bit of action that we're looking at in this first period of play. But what an absolutely wonderful time it has been for both the teams on the pitch. Virunya trying to rush ahead. Myanmar, as I did mention this earlier, doing everything they can to keep this away. Winthun will get to it. Well, can she craft something out of it? Well, into that danger zone. Super Prawn will get it away. And that's pretty much going to be the end of the first 45 as referee Kim Yoo-jeong will bring this part to an end. We will be back with you for second half action in just a little bit. But let's remind you once again, it's been a balanced affair. That early goal from Virunya on 7 minutes, and then a fairly quick reply coming in from the Myanmar captain, Winthun, setting the scoreline at 1-1. And that's how it pretty much stayed for the rest of the half. So it has been a very, very good battle between the two. So let's recap this for you as we get down to what the scoreline states. In the first semi-final, it is Myanmar 1, Thailand 1 at halftime in the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.
At MSIG, protection means guarding every dream, every drive, every goal. Not just the ones that shake stadiums, but also the bold, relentless ambitions women pursue every single day. Now, the spotlight is theirs. It's a surge of recognition built on heart, drive, and hope. And we're proud to help it shine brighter. Because when women rise, the future rises with them. And that's a future worth protecting. MSIG. Protecting goals, powering futures.
Check Shopee link. Shopee Revolution. Shopee Revolution.
Trẻ trung, táo bạo, khẳng định cá tính, kích hoạt năng lượng để bứt phá, công nghệ dẫn lối, nâng tầm trải nghiệm, làm chủ mọi cung đường. Hyundai Creta, tâm điểm cuộc chơi.
The work trimmers, the island hoppers, the foodies, inner circle. You aren't just one person, so why should your travels be any different? Discover perfect stays for every you. Be our guest star. Book now at all.com.
เดี๋ยววันนี้จะพาไปดูลุคการแต่งตัวไปทำงานของแพรกันครับอุ้ย
เฮ้ยของที่คนใช้รถต้องมี MSIG ประกันภัยรถยนต์ตามคน ไม่ตามรถอีกต่อไป ซื้อกรมธรรม์เดียว ขับคันไหนก็ตามไปคุ้มครอง
รถแฟนคุ้มครองไหม
เฮ้ย
แล้วรถพ่อล่ะ
เฮ้ย
อุ้ยรถเพื่อนอ่ะ
เฮ้ย
แล้วรถน้องอ่ะได้ไหม
เฮ้ย
คิดมาอย่างดีแขนเลยเชื่อ บริการดีแขนเลยชอบครอบคลุมดีแขนว่าใช่ เชื่อแคนสมัครเลย
A sustainable future. Myanmar.
Escoop Việt Nam là nhà tài trợ chính của các đội tuyển bóng đá quốc gia Việt Nam, luôn đồng hành cùng sự phát triển của bóng đá nước nhà. Dù vẻ vang hay gian khó, vẫn kiên tâm. Việt Nam quyết tiến khởi sắc vinh quang.
Xe đồng giá thì chính nha. Xong xe sẽ rẻ ở trên Shopee. Ship xi nhan Shopee. Ship không đồng hỏi đơn. Xong free ship xi nhan trên Shopee.
Check Shopee link. Shopee Revolution.
Mua trên Shopee Revo được nhiều Shopee là có Shopee. Mua Shopee Revo được. Mua Shopee Revo được.
Shopee Revolution.
สวัสดีทุกคนนะครับ เราจะมาแต่งตัวไปญี่ปุ่นกันไปเที่ยวต้องเตรียมของอะไรนะ
เฮ้ย ของที่นักเดินทางต้องมีประกันภัยการเดินทาง MSIG Travel Easy Plus เข้าใจนักเดินทางครบทุกมิติดูแลครอบคลุมทั้งป่วยเล็กและป่วยใหญ่ หมดห่วงหากทรัพย์สินที่บ้านถูกขโมย เราช่วยจ่ายค่าชดเชยให้
แล้วถ้าบาดเจ็บจากกิจกรรมอันตราย
ซื้อของคุ้มครองเพิ่มได้ค่ะ
เดินทางกลับล่าช้า
ซื้อเพิ่มได้ค่ะ ให้
คิดมาอย่างดีแขนเลยเชื่อบริการดีแขนเลยชอบครอบคลุมดีแขนว่าใช่ เชื่อแคนสมัครเลย
At MSIG, protection means guarding every dream, every drive, every goal. Not just the ones that shake stadiums, but also the bold, relentless ambition.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to announce the MSIG Serenity Cup product promo for the semi-finals and final match. The travel insurance. You will get 10% discount when you buy travel insurance with MSIG. The promote code would be MSASE 2025 NSF 2025. The offer ends in the 2nd September 2025. The customer may purchase travel insurance from MSIG online. MSIG Serenity Cup khuyến mãi dành cho vòng bán kết và chung kết. Bảo hiểm du lịch giảm 10% khi mua bảo hiểm du lịch từ MSIG. Mã khuyến mãi NSF 2025. Thời hạn ưu đãi đến hết ngày 2 tháng 9 năm 2025. Khách hàng có thể mua bảo hiểm du lịch trực tuyến từ MSIG. This would be the personal insurance. Buy any MSIG personal insurance plan over 1 million down and receive a limited edition memory MSIG mascot for the MSIG Serenity Cup. Limited stocks of the adorable red charm available. The offer ends in the 2nd September 2025. Customers may visit the MSIG website for its suite of personal insurance, from travel to home, motor, personal accident, and more. Bảo hiểm cá nhân. Bất kỳ gói bảo hiểm cá nhân nào của MSIG trị giá trên 1 triệu đồng sẽ nhận được móc treo túi Memory Charm, linh vật của MSIG cho giải đấu MSIG Serenity Cup phiên bản giới hạn. Số lượng quà tặng có hạn, thời hạn ưu đãi đến hết ngày 2 tháng 9 2025. Khách hàng có thể truy cập website MSIG để khám phá các sản phẩm bảo hiểm cá nhân như bảo hiểm du lịch, nhà, xe cơ giới, tai nạn cá nhân và nhiều hơn nữa. Ban tổ chức giải vô địch bóng đá nữ Đông Nam Á 2025 thông báo: 1. Tất cả khán giả khi vào sân đều phải xuất trình vé điện tử, vé mời, xếp hàng trật tự, không chen lấn xô đẩy, ngồi đúng cửa, đúng khu vực quy định, giữ gìn vệ sinh nơi công cộng. 2. Các thành viên tham gia làm nhiệm vụ, tác nghiệp phải đeo thẻ do ban tổ chức giải cung cấp, xuống sân làm nhiệm vụ phải đeo thẻ và có thẻ phụ. 3. Ghế ngồi trên sân được sử dụng cho các đại biểu có vé mời. Khán giả đã mua vé, các lực lượng làm nhiệm vụ, an ninh làm nhiệm vụ không sử dụng các khu vực này. 4. Khán giả không sử dụng chất cồn, không đốt các loại pháo, không mang biểu ngữ không phù hợp. 5. Không ném các vật thể lạ xuống sân, sử dụng ngôn ngữ có tính lăng mạ và không hút thuốc lá trong sân vận động. 6. Tuyệt đối không mang theo các vật dụng sắc nhọn, vật cấm hoặc các chất cấm theo quy định của pháp luật Việt Nam của ban tổ chức vào khu vực khán đài, khu vực diễn ra trận đấu. Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety and enjoyment, please observe the following. First, present your ticket or invitation when entering, sit in designated areas and keep public order. Do not bring alcohol, fireworks, sharp objects or prohibited items into the stadium. Throwing objects, using offensive language or smoking inside the venue is strictly prohibited. Kindly follow the guidance of the organizing committee and security staff. Thank you for your cooperation and support. Kính thưa quý vị, một lần nữa, ban tổ chức giải vô địch bóng đá nữ Đông Nam Á 2025 thông báo: 1. Tất cả khán giả khi vào sân đều phải xuất trình vé điện tử, vé mời, xếp hàng trật tự, không chen lấn xô đẩy, ngồi đúng cửa, đúng khu vực quy định, giữ gìn vệ sinh nơi công cộng. Các thành viên tham gia làm nhiệm vụ, tác nghiệp phải đeo thẻ do ban tổ chức giải cung cấp, xuống sân làm nhiệm vụ phải đeo thẻ và có thẻ phụ. 3. Ghế ngồi trên sân được sử dụng cho các đại biểu có vé mời, khán giả đã mua vé, các lực lượng làm nhiệm vụ, an ninh làm nhiệm vụ không sử dụng khu vực này. 4. Khán giả không sử dụng chất cồn, không mang đốt các loại pháo, không mang biểu ngữ không phù hợp. 5. Không ném các vật thể xuống sân, không sử dụng ngôn ngữ có tính lăng mạ và không hút thuốc lá trong sân vận động. 6. Tuyệt đối không mang theo các vật dụng sắc nhọn, vật cấm hoặc các chất cấm theo quy định của pháp luật Việt Nam vào trong các khu vực khán đài, khu vực diễn ra trận đấu. Xin được trân trọng cảm ơn quý vị khán giả.
Let's welcome you back to the Lakchai Stadium, where we are going to resume with that battle that started off a while back between Thailand and Myanmar. The name of the game and the aim of the game is only one, a spot in the finale of, well, the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. And who will claim that spot is left to be seen. We do have a change, of course, that's coming for Team Myanmar, and Yu Kin has made an entry. Natasha?
So Yupa Kin, who has started a couple of the games during the group stage, now makes her way on this matchup as a substitute, replacing Mei Tet Lu. She is a player who plays for Shan United, 32 appearances, 4 goals to her name so far for the 29-year-old. And let's see what magic she can bring onto the side of Myanmar as she comes off the bench.
So interesting here, fresh pair of feet might make a difference. Of course, it will be Madison of Thailand to start the honours here in that second period of play. Remember, the teams, of course, went into the break pretty much even Stevens. And here we get into that second period of play as our referee, Kim Yoo-cheong, well, signals off the next 45. Keep in mind the fact, of course, it is Myanmar 1, Thailand 1.
And a closer look at Mint. She was a goal scorer against Myanmar's matchup against Australia.
Well, Nutchurch is able to pull it away in time, gets it back to Super Braun. Super Braun looking for a way through. Well, closing in on it. You've always got Plumjai around for assistance. And Pinyapat unable to get to it. And there we have the substitution, just as, well, Natasha pointed it out earlier. Here's Winthun. Well, she's got very early into the box, a bit misguided. But every single effort will count. And just another warning here. It's absolutely delightful to watch her once she gets that ball. And, you know, always know that something is going to happen, and I think it kind of puts the defense of the opposition on a bit of a uneasy, well, sitting at that point of time.
Myanmar really are a team that are quick in transition from defense onto attack, and especially every time that they find the run of Winteng Itun.
Well,
even with a tight angle, she'll try to find a way to take a shot.
So, still a bit of action here from that back line. And May Mint, well, just doing her bit as well to help out. It's kind of, you do get to ignore the Myanmar defense, keeping in mind the fact that that midfield and that attack, well, do come out you know, quite quick fire lightning at some point of time. But the Myanmar defense has been rock solid for the first part of the game. Here's Thailand now, Warunia. She's been quite a mover here in this well game. One touch pass back from, well, Pachayathida, and sent straight by Plumjai to Nacha. Well, Nacha is finding Kanchanathat on the right flank. Needs a bit of helping hand. Kanchanathat can be a worrier for the opposition. And Chachawan, well, decides to make the call, but it wasn't as forceful, just a gentle knock on the door, and that's well received quite easily by Mio Mien, the keeper of Myanmar.
In that first half, we saw Nguyen being tested out a lot, especially with the corners, deadly corners, as well as 1v1s. And it's going to take a lot more than chances like that to really break this deadlock tie between the two.
Well, having said that, if it doesn't get broken, then it is going to go into extra time. And if extra time, of course, does not have a result, we will go down to the penalty shootouts. Remember, we are down to the last 4 games of the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. And that, of course, does boil down to this one being the first. Then we've got the second semi-final that'll kick in later on in the evening. And then right on the 19th, we are going to finish with the second runners-up game, or what you'd call the third place, and of course the finale. So just 4 games left, and all of them are pretty much a do or die, because we want to see a result. And that's a superb Thailand supporter and percussionist. He's been keeping it alive here, keeping the beat going for his team, which is very, very interesting. You've got Myanmar supporters as well around. Quick run here that we're looking at. And Yu Keen did come onto the pitch just in the second period. Tries to create an opportunity. Could be a spot of trouble here for Team Thailand, who regrouped on the back line, so no worries for the time being. Well, any shot in the air will make a difference, and I do believe, she'd want to do that, and that's Maymint. Also been quite a worry for the opposition at times. Poverissa, very unassuming as a goalkeeper too. She's been flown a bit under the radar because, the ladies in front have kept the action going. But a fairly rock-solid keeper on her day, Natasha.
Great outings, of course, for the young goalkeeper for Thailand. The goal scored against her, there was absolutely nothing she could do about that. That was well placed by Win Tengi Toon.
Kanchanathat trying to weave her magic down the right flank. Ambush there by 2 ladies in red. Now let's make that 3. And, I think pulled away just in time by Yu Keen, getting to it in straight back to Nacha. Here's Rinyapat. Attempt to clear it. Not the brightest there from Piu Pei. Verunia's behind it. And Myanmar do have a slight opportunity. What a deflection straight off to Winthun. The captain couldn't have asked for a better pass. And Verunia just pulls it away very, very smartly. Well, that's one of the things that I do believe that I thought we would miss out on, but we haven't. Janista, the ability to pull the ball away from the opposition is quite exemplary, and I think Verunia has done just about enough for that. Madison gets a knockover. The referee says play on. And that's just going to be a shot way above the target. And I do believe, Plumjai comes up with those unexpected attacks, every time. I do love the way that she plays down the midfield, though. She's good with distribution, falls back into defense. Very versatile, actually.
And she connects really well as well with the likes of Rinyapat and Pichayatida in the midfield. Midfield-wise, the battle in the midfield, Thailand have just taken that slight better performance so far as compared to Myanmar.
Well, that's an absolutely delightful one there. Madison was just looking to get that in, was bang on target, but a good stop there once again by Myeon. Absolutely wonderful bit of goalkeeping, but Madison just pouncing on that. We'll have 3 ladies in red around, and I do believe Myanmar do have, just a tad bit of complacency down there in the defense, and that's when, Thailand are going to come and make a call.
And those were always the best chances of Thailand in the first half. They carried that on in the second half, pressing the defensive line. That was a great header from Kanjanatat. That header to find that run. Madison getting to the end of that, able to translate that into a quick chance. But Nguyen again coming out big for Myanmar. She's had to have her A game here today, and she's done just so.
Well, I do believe you're so right about that when you talk about, how, Myeon has actually gone about her work. She's been very, very good on the back line, but Myanmar just, living life on the edge a little bit there. You've got 3 players in the danger area, and that layoff may have been good, the ability or the intention to clear wasn't as strong as Madison really pushing hard, for that goal. So it's still, of course, 1-1. It's still even Stevens. You can't call a result from this, and neither of us is going to speculate Kanchanathat, well, sticks the foot out just to get that ball ahead, and this time it's Nacha.
And for Madison as well, her positional awareness has been so good, navigating herself in that attacking third and just by the edge of the box.
Well, I think she's an absolute poacher in that sense. She's always been around at the right time, there to receive those shots. She does fall back once in a while, to aid the midfield, but more or less she does run the entire width of that front in front of the goal. And there she is, just talking about her getting back into midfield. But she likes to get involved. She likes to play a part. Having said that, well, so do Myanmar, and it's pulled away by Norway. We'll need a bit of a helping hand from, Zun U. Straight off to, Win Thunya, the captain. And if you couldn't see the captain's armband, that's going to go past the away post. Not a worry at all. I was just going to say, if you need to figure out, how to, identify the Myanmar captain, and you can't catch the armband, just catch her hair. That should be good enough.
Piu Piu in taking her chances from distance. Not really testing Pawarisa. And when you look at that halftime stats as well, possession-wise, 43% for Myanmar, 57% for Thailand. Myanmar, of course, 6 attempts, were able to convert 1, 12 attempts for Thailand. So Thailand really creating just that many more chances.
Now this time, straight into the waiting arms here of Myonia, and once again, it's Veronia definitely hunting down a brace. Keep in mind the fact that, just as we did say this earlier, regardless of anything, Thailand would want that second goal as soon as possible. Myanmar will just trying to keep the brakes on them. And very interestingly pointed out, in the previous game, was watching Piu win and the way that she's gone about her business. Today, just falling back a little bit, she was more involved in the attack in the previous event. So today, playing an entirely different role, put it down to the coach's strategy. And I pretty much think she's just carrying that out. Here's Nacha.
So Thailand and Myanmar approaching this game very differently. For Thailand, enjoying more of the possession, creating more chances. But in terms of chances converted, only that one so far. Myanmar, less of the chances, less of possession as well. But also one goal to show for.
So Madison just stopped there in her tracks. It's never going to be too easy. Keep in mind the fact you're up against a rock-solid defense. Pachayatida gets that in. It will be claimed. Myanmar still very much with it, and they're certainly taking this game to the Thai team. There's no doubt about it. It's been a very, very heady battle. Straight off here to Yu Keen. Pachayatida will pull it away. Puts that right ahead. Decent layoff for Madison to get in on it. Madison needs to create, or needs to craft, and yes, she does create opportunity here, but I think just a step too many from Rinyapat, and that's given Myeonien a good bit of time to get to it. Kanchanathat, getting into that area as well, and I do believe sometimes you've just got to pull the trigger when you've got to pull it. A slight delay, and you're going to put the opposition, pretty much in a strong position to get that away. Here's Yu Keen back again. Myanmar now looking for a counter. She's got Nacha to deal with, and a counter would be just advisable because a corner opportunity would be the best thing that could happen to the ladies in red.
But so far with the attacks of Thailand, Madison, the maestro so far for their side, able to win the balls, beating the man down the right-hand side, getting that cut-back pass to give her team the best chance to be able to score. But Myanmar, on the other hand, again, so quick on the counter. After that attempt and chance from Thailand, were able to shift it in their favor and now winning themselves a corner kick.
It's a corner opportunity here. Piu Win will get ready to take it. We are approaching the hour mark. I can't say there's been no action in the second period. There has There's just been no change in the scoreline. Opportunity here to change that. Decent enough delivery. Winton won't get to it, and Thailand will be able to pull it away out of the danger zone for the time being. And Super Prawn pretty much on it. Well, just to look back at the number of times that these teams have met, and we said a dozen times. Today, the 13th. Myanmar will be looking to, well, pretty much level the overall score. But having said that, Thailand still holding the upper hand, and it's a bit too far for Winton to get to it. So just want to look back at the couple of scores that they've had. We've got changes coming on here as Virunia will come on, and I do believe that Janista will come in for her. We've also got, well, so Madison and Virunia coming off, and Janista and Patharanan are replacing them. That's interesting. We were just talking about Janista right through. And also Patharanan, she can be a bit of a handful, does play in that position where, well, Virunia plays, just down the flank, works very strongly. So it will be interesting to see her in action here today.
Janista, one of the players that have been so clinical for the side of Thailand. So we'll see what she can do coming off the bench in this matchup.
Yes, Kanjanathat. Quick clearance there from Piu Pui. And just talking about Janista, a very stylistic player. I have enjoyed watching her in action. Spells a good bit of attitude, and it's a kind of a winning attitude that she brings onto the pitch. I do like that. There's no airs and there's nothing really odd about it, but you always need players. Well, those who can portray being humble and those who can portray, well, just, wearing your colors with pride, and that's what she does. So interesting to have her back. Yes, Pichayatida with the corner. Decides to go in for the shot rather than the delivery. It's going to be turned out, so throw an opportunity.
And when you talk about Janista as well, she's had 4 goals to her name so far. And she brings that experience as well as one of the players from Thailand who has played abroad. She has played in the France top division as well as in the Japan WE League. So to have such a young player, to already have that much experience on her, come onto the bench for a very important matchup, you could tell that she's someone that can definitely change the game for the side of Thailand.
Well, I think it's also probably, just a message coming from Coach Ikeda. Just to say that his bench strength is equally strong, and that he can rotate those players quite easily, and that's exactly what he's done with using Virunia there first. Now, of course, Janista coming in might make a little bit of a difference. Well, let's find out. Fresh pair of feet. We've seen what that's done for Myanmar. Yu Keen coming in. She's brought in a bit of excitement and a bit more action down the right for them. Having said that, it's still 1-1 here as we close in on 62 minutes at the Lok Chai Stadium. First semi-final, Myanmar against Thailand. Yu Keen will take that ahead. She's got Natcha to deal with. Well, we'll look to provide from the outside. And, well, I do believe Patharanan saying, well, let's get it over and done with here. So, throw an opportunity for Myanmar.
They know how speedy Yuperkin is on that left-hand side. Natcha doing well to just slow it down. And Patharanan was there to just double it up.
So throw an opportunity taken there by Mamient. Here's Pavarissa. So Winthun still, holds that goal 7 minutes away from where Virunia struck first. Straight up in the air from Pichayatida. Quick run into the goal area. And Patharanan will just have to let it go ahead.
So Pataranan has been involved since she came on, whether it's defensive duties and being able to go all the way up to help in the attack as well. Young player who plays for Chonburi FC.
Well, she really works beautifully down the wing. I've seen that it's kind of a natural position for her to play. I've seen some of the other players fall back a lot, but yes, Nacha back again. Well, decent enough to get that into the goal area and decent enough to knock that away from Lindo. Winthun just needs a bit of a helping hand, some assistance from the right. Would make a bit of a difference here. I do believe that there's definitely got to be a goal in here at some point of time, but for interesting as it may seem for that 20 minutes in this or 19 minutes in this second period of play, it's been a bit of a struggle for either team to try and find their way through. We're just going to put that down to really strong defense from both sides of the half line.
Yes, the errors that we saw early on in the game from both sides, both Myanmar and Thailand able to capitalize on defensive mistakes. But at the moment, both teams finding their groove, getting more organized and compact on the defense, making it that much harder for either squad to take advantage or to score.
And that's an interesting bit because that's how the game pans out, especially when it's a higher level game. Here's Piu Win looking to provide with the layoff, and she did twirl in the air. I think good call there by the referee. It will be, Thailand do get the benefit of it, and almost seemed like a bit of a takedown. It wasn't. Well, just a simple collision, to be fair.
And Piu Win, one of those players for Myanmar. She was rather quiet the first 20-30 minutes of this matchup, but slowly finding in her momentum. A player who's had a lot of key passes, 9 key passes so far for the side of Myanmar.
Well, I just think that she's playing in a different position, and just giving her that takes a bit of time to settle in, because sometimes you want to play in your natural position, but then coaches always have a way and they always know, what's going to work best. So we do have a substitution coming in.
So Lang comes on for Meitet Monmin. Defensive change, interesting enough for the side of Myanmar.
Well, if they can't set, or they can't have a result in regulation time, I think I won't be surprised if Myanmar actually would try and push this game, into going into added time.
But the substitute, of course, Yunwari Lai. She also plays a more attacking role, so you can tell that they're going to want their defensive players to help out onto the attack, to just create another dynamic for them, to be able to create more chances for them.
So Thailand, of course, enjoying 76% accuracy with their passes, as against Myanmar's 71. It's not too far apart that the two teams have been in their performance on the pitch. And I do believe they will need, to dig in and find out, what's going to work for them best here. Because if this match, of course, goes into added time, it will be an entirely different affair. Pinyapat stepping up here. And it's Pacheathira to take the corner. Well, for the first time around, Mio Nien unable to get a touch of the ball, but I don't think that's going to concern her. Quickly stolen away. Piu Pei sends it to the right flank. And we just spoke about this young lady, getting off the bench. But that's picked up by Pinyapat now. Trying to restore to a team. Here's Plumjai. Off to Patharanan. Patharanan will stretch the breadth of that field. Just looking for Janista. And I think, Myanmar would have also had a plan in mind for the left winger there of Thailand, because they would have watched her in previous games, and they would definitely want to, well, mark her or keep her covered as much as possible. Here's Patharanan, straight off the back of Piu Prey. Santao and Kanchanathat wrestling that away, and Thailand will get a free kick opportunity. Santao guilty of a misdemeanor. Well, unnecessary challenge really there at that point of time, but to be fair, the game has been, well, has been fair play, as I said earlier. It's been a good game. It's been a very, very, well, clean affair on the ground, and I do believe it tells a lot about the teams, about what this contest means for them, and what, well, kind of respect they have for each other. So free kick opportunity, Rinyapat, well, gets ready to take it. Well, that's going to lie loose, caught out of position, Myo Nien. And Thailand may have just missed out on a golden opportunity. Well, that ball just lying loose for a bit, and when you have a keeper out of position, I think Thailand weren't really expecting that. Having said that, well, here's Santao trying to make amends. Straight off Super Prawn, and that's got to be a handball. The referees pointed to the spot. I almost thought it came off her upper arm. We will have a look at that again, but that's definitely a good call by the referee, no doubt about it. Oh, absolutely disastrous here, I would believe. Well, that move.
And the moment when it happened, against the run of play, we just saw Thailand get their chance. Keeper comes out.
And I do believe
it's quick transition. Yeah.
It's never really intentional, is it? You know, it's not even like you're sticking an arm out. It's just played off the arm. But Myanmar, opportunity in disguise here. Wintun looks to score her 7th of the tournament and her 2nd in this game. Gets ready to put Myanmar well ahead in this semi-final for the first time. Pavarissa, what will be her reply? Well, I pretty much hate to need the post, need the bar this time. And that's well done. Nothing fancy, just kept it fairly simple. Just beat the goalkeeper with the direction, and it's 2-1 here. So Wintun nets a brace, and it's 7 goals in the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 for her.
And the Myanmar fans in a frenzy for the quality that Win Tangitun brings. Cool, calm, collective finish. Places that at the bottom right corner. No chance for Pawarisa. And just the confidence of Win Tangitun to score a 2nd goal in this matchup and to put Myanmar up for the first time. That was great work from Santao Tao to win that opportunity, that golden opportunity, and Win Tangitun,
well,
as usual, reliable to be able to convert.
I do believe that, and Wintun is such a seasoned player. Doesn't take much to be able to read, goalkeeper's mind. And if you've got that covered, you pretty much nailed it. So right now, I think Thailand will need to dig a lot deeper than they have been, because Myanmar in the driver's seat here. And while I'm saying that, if this game were to end in regulation time without Thailand making a comeback, oh, that'll be one big upset. Having said that, because, well, Thailand were looking for their 5th straight win in the ASEAN Women's Championship over Myanmar, and that dates all the way back to 2015. But for now, there's still a good bit of 18 minutes left plus a bit of stoppage time. Patharanan gets that through the gap. Myo Nien will have it covered. Oh, lovely effort too. Well, set that up there. Beautifully done by Patharanan. But I think Myanmar will be keen on protecting that lead. And we've got a game on here. How the tables have turned, it's been an entirely different story. So Winthun scoring on either side of the half. Thailand will need an equalizer really soon if they want to stay, well, on course for the finale.
And that was completely against the run of play. Thailand have been enjoying a lot of the possession. They've been creating a lot of chances on the attacking third. And that's also when when you have to be clinical with the chances that you create, because Myanmar is a team that does not need a lot of chances. In the few that they've had, they're quickly able to convert. And that spells the story so far of why they're ahead 2-1 against Thailand.
So Thailand will pull up their socks here. They're not a team to be taken lightly. We do know the attack that they brought on right through. Here's a quick pass back from, well, Zun U. Myanmar also, there's a huge change in the body language when they came on first. In that first period, it was fairly easy. They're looking a lot more confident, and, well, every single goal that you get is just going to make the team look stronger, and that spirit, that momentum will just changes. Having said that, Patharananya to Nacha as Thailand seek out an equalizer. And here's Winthun. Straight back to the keeper. And Myanmar will win the benefit of that call. Well, Jinistan just making sure that a counterpart's all right.
And this time around, of course, Myanmar doing much better despite the pressure being put on by Thailand.
Well, that is an interesting bit, isn't it? We always talk about sometimes how teams can hold 80% possession, and yet it's the opposition that can win it. And we've seen that in recent times where some teams will just let the other team, well, tire out before they have a plan in mind. And I really don't know what the strategy for Myanmar has been, but I do believe it has been one of just, well, grabbing whatever opportunities come their way, and, you know, they're trying to make the most of it. Having said that, a penalty can only be, well, an unexpected, well, turn for any team. And just to look at the kind of shots we've had on goal and how many have been accurate.
So 10 attempts for Myanmar, 19 attempts total for Thailand, and on target 4 for Myanmar, 8 for Thailand.
And that's also going to tell us a bit of a story of how much Myo Nien has had to work, you know, between the posts right through this time.
Definitely, she had to come up a lot of times. 6 big saves for her on 1v1s, and of course punching out, doing really well in a lot of the corners.
Here's Winyapat. Well, easily turned away there by the Myanmar back line. Well, decides to make the call. Plumjai once again puts it past the left post. It's a bit of a distance. Wasn't always going to be an easy one, and we do have a player down. We are going to have a look at, well, the Myanmar, well, lady who's, I think, just got a bit of a cramp, I do believe.
That looks like Kinmo Motun, who's slow to get back up, but will be in no rush either. Their team are up at 2-1, putting on that pressure on Thailand. And they'll be looking at the likes of their substitutes, Pataranan, and players in the midfield, like Rinyapat.
And just to look back at that goal earlier, the Myanmar captain, well, just outplaying the Thai goalkeeper.
And in this tournament thus far, for the side of Myanmar, they've only scored 8 goals. And Wintangitun has scored 7 of the 8 goals for Myanmar. So you know how big a part she plays for their side.
And that's interesting when you talk about it. You know, just besides being the captain, She's also the main goal scorer in there. And I do believe that that is where it all boils down to. The fact that we've got, well, some very interesting players, in the mix. I was trying to look back at the other. The other, of course, would be Meithet Monmint of Myanmar, who's also scored. So very, very interesting. Well, she's still out there and she might make a difference. But having said that, if Myanmar can hold their own here, well, I think they'll just be staring at that final all over again. Having said most of it, keep in mind the fact that your opponents are also going to matter. And, the Vietnam-Australia battle is not going to be an easy one. It's going to be a mean, hard-fought one. And that's because, like these two teams on pitch, those two are also very competitive. Well, she does manage to keep that away. So once again, well, Myo Nien still being kept on her toes. Not too much of rest there for the Myanmar keeper. And I do believe every chance now that Thailand are trying to create, they're trying to give themselves a little bit of space, keep the opposition at bay. Through an opportunity taken there.
And as the time dwindling down, this game is also getting that much more open. You could see Thailand really pressing up high, trying to win back possession as quickly as they can.
And I think that that's just going to work in favor of Team Thailand. Patharanan who gets ready to take it. And we were talking about that fatigue. Also keep in mind the fact that, it's rained quite a bit. And even though it's grass, wet surface can sometimes be a tad bit, bothersome in terms of your movement.
And you talk about the slight advantage as well that Thailand have over Myanmar. Group A fixtures ended one day before Group B. So Thailand and Vietnam have had that extra day of rest as compared for Myanmar. And at the moment you could see that they're struggling, players getting cramps here and there.
So we've got another change, coming on for Team Myanmar. And it will be interesting because I think it's a win-win. Just trying to figure out, she might be, replacing a player who's pretty much down there. That's, Lindo. We've got two ladies coming on. We've also got, Nin Ai. So here we go with the two substitutions.
Substitution for Myanmar, player number 10.
So Win-Win will come on for Kin Momotun. Win-Win, a young player, 22 years old, already has 10 appearances, 8 goals to her name, plays for Tetsar Arman WFC. And as a player who went down with the cramps, she will be replaced, Lin Leu, by A. A has also started in the previous games. She started against Australia. So you know that she's also reliable on the defensive duties for the side of Myanmar.
Well said there. And, Keen Thun, did bring a lot of, support down that midfield. I do believe a bit more energy, a bit more refueling of the troops is going to make a difference here. And Win-Win, just voicing that the moment she's got onto the pitch.
For the side of Coach Tetsuro Uki, really making more substitutions than Thailand, having to rotate his squad a bit more.
So just in case you weren't aware, we're just about 7.5 minutes shy of hitting the 90. There will be a bit of added time thrown in for stoppages, and within this period of time, Thailand have got to restore parity, because if they don't do that, this game will, of course, the cause of this game will be lost to Thailand. But let's find out how this pans out. The ladies in blue still very much with it, and Myanmar very much in it to win it. They've displayed great character here.
And with all that struggle, you also see the likes of Yu Kin, a player who plays on the attacking end normally for the side of Myanmar, but she's such a versatile utility player for them. She had to be deployed towards the bottom right, towards the left. She's been helping out a lot defensively and on the attack since she's been introduced in this matchup at halftime.
And that's the good thing. I think, Coach Ikeda would have worked out exactly which players to inject at what point of time, after looking at the opposition and the way that they've gone about, their business. It's been a very good day at the office for Team Myanmar. While Thailand, it started well, but it's been, a bit challenging ever since. Keeping that ball within the line of play, and I think that's smartly done. And that's really what the aim should be. You don't want to grant the opposition too many close-up opportunities.
And time not on the side of Thailand. So far, with every chance that they've had, Myanmar have had them covered.
And I think Coach Ikeda just heard exactly what you were saying, because he was just pointing to his watch and saying, come on girls, keep a track of the time. And you do get lost in the moment, but having said that, 5 minutes shy of the 90, and then of course we will have a bit of added time for stoppages. As I said this earlier, there has been no detrimental play, or there's been nothing that is untowardly on the pitch. So there won't be too much of time, and Thailand will have to gauge the situation as soon as possible, or they might be ousted from this tournament, or at least from the finale. Yes, Kanchanatat, kept at bay once again.
And a player also that we're not hearing much from is Janista, a player who's so prolific for the side of Thailand in a lot of their games before this matchup. For Thailand, they haven't been taking advantage or finding her runs on that left-hand side.
So if you look back at another substitution, and this time it's going to be for Team Thailand. It's getting ready to come on is Tawanrat, and she gets in for Plumjai Santi Savat. So Tawanrat from Tongi, and I do believe she will make a difference. We were just talking about this player's cramping. We've got another Myanmar player down there.
Tawanrat comes on for the side of Thailand. A young player, 20 years old, plays for Chonburi FC. Gets on the pitch to just inject another attacking option for the side of Thailand.
And I think we are going to have a substitution for this young lady as Shui Thun gets ready to come on. She will be replacing a player who's injured, and that injury doesn't look too good. Just getting ready to show the added time that we will have for stoppages. But before we get that, here's the change. Because coming on there, we have one more young lady who can make a difference, and it's Sri Thun as she replaces Santo.
Replaced by player number 19, Sway.
Santoto has been fantastic for the side of Myanmar before now having to bow out of this matchup. Shui Tun in her place. 9 appearances, 6 goals to her name for the national team of Myanmar. Plays for ISPE, WFC.
And we were just talking a while back about how it was a very rainy day. There were thunderstorms predicted, but it's been a very good game here Winton, well, putting that into space. Lovely layoff there. A chance opportunity, but Pavarissa says, not this time. Well, you want to set that up, and this is what we did see in the previous game too. Huliang brings that absolutely fantastic attack on. Loves to work solo from the half line down. Wonderful setup and wonderful bit of execution. Corner opportunity, and Myanmar are still in business here.
And how quick Myanmar are just able to switch it on. That was a great pass from Winteng Yitun to find the run of Leng.
Well, that's going to be turned away. Well, just in time here. Well, Chachawan coming to a team's aid, but having said that, Myanmar, they want another goal. There's no doubt about it. And I was about to say, you know, while we talked about, well, Thailand being extremely hungry for those goals, I'd really love to know, well, how Myanmar did craft this entire change. Of course, having said that, a penalty opportunity can change the outcome of any game. But will we see a comeback here from Team Thailand to stay in this contest? Yes, Nacha with the delivery. Patharanan arrests possession at the right time. Lovely setup. And Myo Nien will punch that away. And that's just, well, going to be, well, play continued as Winthun gets to it. And I had to shut my mouth on this part where I was going to say it's been fair play, not too much of time, but 7 minutes of added time. And 7 minutes can be just the perfect recipe for Thailand if they can make the most of it. So 7 minutes to stay in this contest, or 7 minutes to bow out of the finale. Let's find out what happens, because right here in the semi-final, it is still Myanmar who lead 2-1 and are still very much keeping that attack alive. You're Super Prawn.
Eventually dealt with there by Thailand.
Well, if you just kind of, you know, take a look back at, well, a chance here for Thailand. Didn't see that coming. Patharanan needs to get it past Yu Keen. Straight up opportunity. And that's gone past the right post. Agonizingly close, I would have thought, from Rinyapat. And lovely assist as well. That one coming in from Tavanrat.
And that's the best sequence we've seen so far for the side of Thailand in the last few minutes.
So Tavanrat setting that up beautifully. Rinyapat unable to find the target, but let's very quickly remind you, while we have Myo Nien who's being attended to, the last time that Thailand did lose in a semi-final in the ASEAN Women's Championship to Myanmar was way back in 2012, and that was when Myanmar won in that semi-finals 1-0. Of course, having said that, it was Thailand in 2008 who won in a third place game 3-0. And while Thailand may hold the upper hand, there was also that 2018 event, when Thailand defeated Myanmar 3-1 in the semi-finals, and then again in 2019 and 2022. So 3 consecutive years, Myanmar have lost to Thailand in the semi-final. And let's not forget, in 2015, they also lost to Thailand in the final. But today might just be sweet payback for Myanmar.
And they have 5 minutes left to hold that lead, or to add another goal to put that final nail in the coffin. But 5 minutes for Thailand to get in this match and force this into extra time. The substitutes have been fantastic, especially Patharanan. And Tawanrat, they've been connecting on that right-hand side.
Well, that could have been just dangerously close here, but I think the Myanmar defense pretty much had it covered, even as Tawanrat was a bit too close for comfort. But it's been a performance, and for my money, I think that last line of defense for Myanmar has been stellar. Chachawan, once again, an absolutely beautiful delivery, but just no one to receive it with open arms, and I think Tawanrat, well, just missing out on that. Having said that, still about 3.5 minutes more to go in this game. Let's remind you, Myanmar lead by a single goal in this first semi-final of the ASEAN Women's MSIG Serenity Cup 2025. We will, of course, find out what happens in those next few minutes, but Thailand will not give up, and Myanmar are not going to give in. Absolutely fine play here from the defense, and Piu Pui, well, while she's received a caution, she has done her job well, and I don't think any of that is going to matter in the end if this team secures their place in the finale. They're still flying on the wings of well, Captain Win Thun has been absolutely phenomenal in strike. So while we get down to the closing minutes of this game, yes, Super Prawn. And Myanmar just about able to claim it once again. And this is exactly what I was talking about earlier in the game. Well, Holiang gets into the goal area. There will be stopped, but it's back again. And a bit of backup there from Super Prawn, just helping a keeper out. Well, I would say deja vu all over again, because Holiang's been here before against
but Lang has been lively since she's been introduced as a substitute. Continuously, chance after chance, the best chances we've seen from Myanmar have been from this young player. She was able to capitalize on those defensive errors, win possession back for Myanmar.
Well, just saw her in the previous game as well, and she was absolutely stunning in her attack. She's also that kind of player that waits for the rebound and very, very quick to pounce on top of it. I think Thailand have got it covered here for the time being, but it will be quite a result, because well, a lot of the fans here, especially the Thailand fans, would have been expecting their team to sail through, but still it's not done and dusted till the final whistle. So having said that, Thailand will still keep at it. Here's Nacha. And while Thailand may have missed out on a few good opportunities here today, I'm not going to take away credit from Myanmar, who played a stellar role in today's event. They fought tooth and nail for the right to be here and to stay in for the big event. Well, here's Tawanrat. Well, fails to get it past the opposition's defense. Would have loved to have. Will just scale past the defender. A bit of a worry there.
And what great defending from Myanmar. Just making sure to track back, to cover the passing lanes, and to make sure that it makes it that much harder for Thailand to even take a shot.
Well, Zunu coming to the rescue of a team, and I think, every Myanmar player has pretty much played the part that was scripted by them for coach Tetsuro Uki. Well, here's Pichaya Thida. She's been such a phenomenal player through this tournament. Rinyapat. And Myanmar just putting up a wall of red. And that wall has been able to keep out most threats. Pinyapat getting in on it.
Wave and wave of attack from Thailand, but so far Myanmar so organized at the back, just doubling up. They know everything is on the line in these last few seconds.
Super Prawn gets that into, well, a comfortable space, but not for too long, as Win Thun will get it away. And Myanmar, the only ploy would be to attack if you want to keep the opposition at bay.
And just smart movements from Shui Yi Tun. Just bringing it to the furthest corner as possible. shave off any seconds that you can.
Well, I think that would be the joy, really. They just want to keep, that ball away from their goal area, and that should serve them well. But having said that, I do believe, I was just taking a quick look at the captain, and they'll be delighted because every opportunity for them does matter now. I think, and it's Myanmar who's really getting those chances. But did see this earlier, and I was looking at it. Winthun, the captain, she's been, you can see the fatigue setting in by the time she gets to about 80 or 90 minutes. And I think that's just going to be a cause for concern because she has been strained physically. There's no doubt about it. And I think it's going to be a slight cause for concern getting into, well, the finale. Having said that, what a win here for Team Myanmar as they claim the spoils. And it's the captain who brings that ship home. Win Tiengithun, the captain, with a goal in either half to claim the win. And what an event it has been, Natasha. Thailand coming so close, but yet falling short.
And you have to feel for Thailand. They did their part. They tried to create as many chances and opportunities to score. But Nguyen was top-notch goalkeeping all the way. And Win Tiengithun on the opposite end, clinical with the attacks to make sure that they pounce on the few opportunities that they had, but goldenly, and turned those into shots on target, and eventually cementing their spot in the finals of this tournament.
Well, it's going to be quite a delight now to watch, Myanmar get into the finale. It will be interesting to see who they meet because that game, that question, of course, will be answered in the next game when, Vietnam and Australia under 23 clash right here at the Lak Chai Stadium. But for now, let's keep one thing in mind. It still is very much, Myanmar who are staying on course and are in it to win it. The next game could tell us a different story. Thailand, of course, doing every little thing that they could. It's been a delightful performance from the Thai ladies, as always, giving us a great show here. Myanmar 2, Thailand 1. The final score in the first semi-final, as Myanmar are the first team to qualify for the finals. Well, Natasha and me, Glenn, we're going to take a break, but we'll be back with you for the next semi-final. Till then, you take a breather and don't forget to join us in just a little bit.
Congratulations, Captain. You scored twice and your team go to the final match. What a great comeback. So what's your feeling right now?
Right now, I'm so happy because we play here for a long time. We no go to final. So now we again going to final. So happy, so happy. I'm so proud of my team. Also step our country live stream and support to our fans.
Okay. The second semi-final will be the match between Vietnam, the home team, and Australia. Which team do you want to face in the final, Vietnam or Australia?
This both two teams is very good team and very strong team. But whoever come into final, we will try the best and we fight for champion.
Once again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, what a pity that Thailand is the team who scored first, but you lose the match, so you will go to the bronze medal match. What's the feeling of you and your national team?
รู้สึกเสียดายค่ะแล้วก็เสียใจที่เราไม่ได้เข้าชิงค่ะ
Of course that we are very sad and yeah we are sad that we still cannot go to the final.
How do you comment on the performance of your team today, and do you think that you deserve to win?
วันนี้ให้คอมเมนต์หน่อยว่าเราเล่นเป็นยังไงแล้วคิดว่าเราควรที่จะชนะหรือเปล่า
ก็วันนี้เราก็สามารถทำเกมลุกได้เยอะค่ะแต่เรายังจบสกอร์ไม่คมพอแล้วก็เสียกับลูกโต้กลับเยอะค่ะ
So today we can make the game with the attacking but we cannot shoot we cannot get the score and also we lose for the counter attack.
I hope that you will come back stronger in the next tournament and you will be the winner in the bronze medal match. Thank you.
เขาบอกว่าก็หวังว่าเราจะกลับมาได้ดีขึ้นแล้วก็หวังว่าจะเป็นแชมป์ในรอบต่อไป
Thank you.
The ASEAN Women's Championship MSIG Serenity Cup 2025 semi-final one will kick into action right here at the Loc Chai Stadium. We are coming at you live from Haiphong, Vietnam, and as the teams line up, it's going to be interesting. So what a joy here, Thailand and Myanmar meeting for the 13th time in the ASEAN Women's Championship. And that is a terrific save there from Pavarisa. Oh, did it actually rattle the crossbar? It looked like it came. Oh, it certainly came off the woodwork there. So, sigh of relief for the Thai goalkeeper. Oh, that has turned out to be one for Thailand. Virunya will get the benefit of the call. And it looks like it's a deflection that came off her from an attempt to save it by Piu Prey. It's 1-0 Thailand. Stranger things have happened on the football field, if you ask me, and this time unable to find the target. It's Kanjanathat. Well, Nacha misses out on it. Yes, Winthun. And that's straight into the back of the net. Absolutely wonderfully crafted goal there by the captain. Didn't have to sweat too much for it. Madison will be kept at bay. So it's 1-1 here as it currently stands. Here's Madison. And that's Pechayathida getting right behind it. And good bit of defensive work by the Myanmar keeper. Meonian has been fantastic in defense. And that's going to be another shot through. Pavarisa's got it covered. Absolutely no worry here. But just beginning to look a bit dangerous here. And that's taken safely by Pavarisa. Oh, what a save there. Outstretched arms from Myeonien. And that's another wild shot. Winton. So Myeonien has been strong in defense here. And that's taken safely by the Myanmar keeper. And the referee has pointed to the spot. A bit unfortunate, that ball just coming off the arm. It was Santor who just got it off. Well, super prawn. Not intentional, but what an opportunity. And the captain stepped up, and it's 2-1. So Myanmar have definitely got the lead here. And it looks like it's going to be an interesting one for the rest of the match. Well, kept her calm and kept her accuracy going. Win Thieng Ithun makes it, well, 2-1. So once again, the Myanmar keeper, well, saving her team the blushes here as the Myanmar defense, well, gets that ahead. Here's Win Thun, sets it up for Haliang. Haliang, well, chasing it down into the goal area. Well, does have Chachawan on a tail. That's kept away by Pavarisa. Oh, absolutely blistering attack there. And it's Myanmar 2, Thailand 1 at full time, with Myanmar sailing into the finals of the MSIG Serenity Cup 2025.